going to walk us through some stuff that she deals with, and then obviously we'll leave time to ask her questions.
And whether people were military people or civilians, it's hard to tell because you're just like a rando on the internet, right? But all of last summer, I could not speak in public without a police presence. Like, I literally couldn't speak at a conference, I couldn't come to a classroom, I couldn't do anything unless there was a cop there. Because everywhere I went, people would go on Reddit and say, Julie Alone is gonna be here, make sure she pays for what she did. Like, super sketchy stuff. People came up to me at conferences and told me they followed me everywhere I went. Like, super shady, because all I said was, I was sexually harassed while talking about sexual harassment, and I'm not making it up, I have a letter that says so. But people believed that that wasn't true, that they just forgot that the letter existed. They said I made it all up. And they said that I went in there and told 1,000 men that they were all rapists. Which, like, hot tip, not a great way to keep your job. If you just, like, go into spaces and you're like, and you're a rapist? And you're a rapist. Like, obviously I didn't do that. That's idiotic, right? But because people had such a hard time believing that good military men would do that to someone in 2014, it was easier to believe that I was a feminazi man hater, right? And the reality is, like, it wasn't that I was, like, reading into it. Like, I was explicitly told to my face, I might have listened to you if you were a man. Like, what does that tell you about what's happening?
With a lot of the tweets that she showed to us, unfortunately, I did know about this stuff beforehand, but nonetheless, I was disgusted all the more. Just the way people would just talk without any accountability to them, and like some of them even have their real names there, and you'd think, how are you promoting yourself like that? That's just it's not a way to conduct yourself, and just talking to a person like that, like you wouldn't talk to your mom like that and your sister like that, so why would you talk to another woman online like that?
Do you think they got your message today about speaking up it makes you a target?
I could see that people were really shocked by the kind of backlash that I receive, and it always hurts to know that I'm kind of breaking people's hearts a little bit, but I could see that people were like, wow, if I say the same thing as Julie, I'm not going to be treated as badly as Julie is, which means I have to use my privilege as a man to say the things that she's saying, to do this work, and to recognize that I have the privilege of not getting backlash in the same way. And I could see that people sort of made that shift in their head of like, wow, there's still a lot of work to be done, that someone like Julie would get that much backlash. But the hope is that like I can go and do that in my circle and people will listen to me because they respect me. And that, I mean, that's all I could ask for.
Men like should be taught about like how women should be treated, and like women are not objects. Women are like human beings. So it's our duty and it's our mission to like to promote what Manup does and like what we are and what we present, basically.
Has your attitude toward women changed since you joined this group?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've seen I have a new perspective of like how I see women, like how we should like respect them more, how we should see them, and how they're like one of us, basically.
As a young woman, are you harassed? Do you feel like you're a target or a piece of meat sometimes?
I would say yes, but it's more outside of school than inside of school, because now that we have this group, as Alec previously said, a lot more conversation goes around, people act differently, people take more initiative in stopping these kinds of harassments.
You see the boys changing a bit?
I do, actually, and I'm really happy about that. I also see girls changing. Girls will often step up as well. It's not just relying on the men, it's just like a group effort.
So why are you here today?
I'm here today because my teacher invited me, and yeah.
Are you glad you came, or what?
Yeah, I'm actually really happy. I really want to get involved in this. I really do have an interest in taking part in this.
Do you think you can make a change?
I would like to think I could. I don't know, but I want to try my best to be able to.
Well, I'm a part of this group because I saw the first generation of Manup people start their group, and I really saw the change that they were able to make in our school, and I thought, wow, being like a senior student at LDH, I would really like to, be a part of that change as well.
What change?
I would say the biggest change that we see in our school is the discussions that happen every day, and it's not just in these Manup groups that we have, but in the hallways and at parties, you can see the difference in the mindset, I would say, of students.
Sure, we have. So Drew's going to get our very last. It's going to be a little too big, but it's the last of the set a new standard teas that our boys came up with. So
What's so great about Manup is that it's all kinds of different kinds of guys. It's not just, the keeners, and I know when I talk about Manup, people think, oh, it's probably, the keeners that are like the teacher's pets who, it's like, no, it's like there's them, there's the jocks, there's the cool, good-looking guys, there's the guys who are super into academics, there's the guys who are super into nerdy things. Like, it's a real cross-section of guys, and that's why I think it's so successful, because it speaks to every kind of guy in a school setting to say, regardless of who you are, you have influence in your social circle, so use it.
What do you think Man Up stands for?
What I love about Man Up is that I think my gut reaction when I hear that term is that it's offensive, that it's so often been used to tell a man who's showing weakness or who's showing vulnerability to man up, to stop acting womanly, for example. But the fact that they've really reclaimed that to say being a man is a good thing, being aggressive isn't even a bad thing, showing strength isn't a bad thing, but we need to talk about how you can be both vulnerable and strong at the same time, and that being a real man is having access to a complexity of emotions, and being a real man also means being respectful to women. So I love that they've reclaimed this term. I love it so much.
And these guys are going to go out into the world and make a change. What we gave them was the opportunity to use their skills in a venue that otherwise we might not have ever tapped into. So we're proud that we were able to give them an avenue that otherwise was never there. But all these guys, we can't take credit for what they're accomplishing because they do it on their own.